So I was really hoping that I might have the opportunity to chat with another Stronghold Digital Mining shareholder, and I've kind of been going back and forth via text message with her to see if that might be a possibility. Um, okay, so we're not going to be able to get her on camera, and she's not really too keen on, doing like a voice only type of interaction, or at least not yet. But a question that did come through via text message just now is I've been wondering, when are my 10 shares going to make me rich? So, okay, here's the deal. You know, whether someone owns one share of this company, a million shares, or more, we're all in the owner's box. And I think the only reason anyone ever decides to buy shares in a stock, right, in a company, is to try to make money. I've yet to really meet someone who would say with a straight face, "Hey, I bought shares of a company with the expectation that I'm going to lose money, or that I'm not going to see any appreciation in the value of what I've invested." So regardless of whether or not you're somebody who's in the state of Pennsylvania and has a very strong sense of connection to the mission and purpose of this company as a reclamation business, or if you're somebody who's outside the state who is like, hey, I just want to make some money. I mean, the truth is, we all want to make money, right? Everybody at Stronghold Digital Mining wants to make money, right? The business doesn't work if we don't make any money. So that's, I think, something that we can all universally agree with. Now, I mean, yes, it's true. I'm very passionate about cleaning up, waste coal. I mean, you'd have to really have been affected personally to some degree by some of the pollution issues that are created by waste coal to maybe feel a little bit more animated about this. But even if that's not the case, I think we can all feel very animated about the idea that, hey, we all, right, probably believe to some extent in the future of Bitcoin. I mean, after all, we're Stronghold Digital Mining, right? Like the centerpiece of our business model is mining Bitcoin, right? Using the electricity that we generate or that we purchase from the PJM grid to mine Bitcoin. So, we all want to make money, whether we own one share, 10 shares, right, or a million shares or more. We all want to see a positive return on investment. One of the reasons I like the idea of attempting to have conversations with shareholders, and this is a shareholder in the state of Pennsylvania, and that's something that I like because it's we're such a small enterprise to begin with, and our shareholder base isn't really that big either, and so to me it's like a really special thing, a very special connection that I know that I've certainly felt with Tim, our friend Tim, whom we've had on this channel before, and even with this individual. I mean, there's a connection there, and I I just I think it's great to be able to interact with each other, and I know we do that via social media. Many of us do, whether we're in the state of Pennsylvania or outside of the state, and there's a lot of passion and interest for what this company's doing. But again, at the end of the day, right, like as the question, kind of came through here, right, like, hey, when are my 10 shares going to make me rich, right? I get that. When is this stock going to finally, right, start moving? We've talked about that before, so I'm not going to belabor it again tonight, but I will say this. We are in a position to do really, really well, okay? I believe that. I don't, I'm not just saying that. Nobody's paying me to say that. Somebody jokingly, I think, said, "Hey, were you hired by a hedge fund to, create this channel and put out this content in hopes of, moving the stock?" No, I mean, I own shares of the company myself, right? This is me wanting to, I think, live into this idea of, I'll use a phrase that I first learned of in a class I took a long time ago. We had to read a book called, I believe it was Participatory Economics. And the book had a lot of very interesting ideas and hypotheses and theories. And, I guess, what I took from that book, was that, hey, to the extent you can kind of get more actively involved in something and participate, right, in an economic activity, well, that's a good thing. I do think that the book probably had a somewhat specific point of view about the world and about how the global economy should be organized. And in some ways, I think that viewpoint is probably at odds with sort of the free market economy, right? That we at least in the United States kind of exist in to some degree. And so I don't know that I really took a whole lot out of that book and thought, hey, wow, this is great. It's very practical and usable. Aside from the fact that, hey, I have a vested interest in this company doing well, right? Everybody who works at Stronghold Digital Mining, I think, should be asking themselves on a daily basis, hey, the stock's at like 50 some odd cents a share. I mean, hey, maybe I should buy 10 shares. Maybe I should buy 100 shares. Can I put together the money to buy, 1,000 shares? This isn't a commentary as to whether or not somebody should or shouldn't actually make that decision, but I do think it's a question that should be asked, right, in one's own mind. Hey, I'm here. I'm literally in. I'm in this business as a paid staff member. Hey, shouldn't I consider at least buying shares in the company? And then I think you take that one layer out. Hey, my brother, my sister, my cousin, my uncle, my father, my mother, they work at this company called Stronghold Digital Mining, and wow, I hear some really cool things about what's going on there. Hey, maybe I should consider investing in the company. Do you see where I'm going with this? And then you take it one layer further out. Hey, I live by one of these facilities. Maybe I'm somebody who's affected by polluted water in the state of Pennsylvania, and I want to see a lot of this stuff cleaned up. And gosh, if I could make some money investing in a company that's doing that, maybe that's a conversation I need to have in my own mind, right? So, we can all participate in the potential economic success, of this business, of this company. And so from my perspective, it's probably not what the authors of the book, I think it was Participatory Economics, had in mind. But from my perspective, I think people can participate in the economy by owning shares of companies, right? I mean, you become a co-owner of the business, really. And so I've taken it a step further to say, hey, well, I want to advocate for our mission. I want to advocate for what we're attempting to do as a company. And, I want to try to turn the tide at least a little bit in this ocean of negativity, to at least, present something that's a bit more positive, a bit more, a bit more balanced, arguably. Now, I did hear a couple beeps. Let's see if there's any additional messaging here. So bear with me one moment. I should really have more shares. Okay, so yeah, 10 shares is not a whole lot. But again, I want to be very careful here because 10 shares can be like a ton of stock for somebody, who's really, really struggling. And I have profound respect, unspeakably large amounts of profound respect for people who are willing to, really take that risk to say, hey, this is money I can't necessarily afford to lose. And it's only 10 shares worth, but I'm willing to actually do this because I want to invest in my future. I want to see a return on that investment. Like, that's really awesome. Compare that to somebody who's like, hey, whatever, I'm going to blow some money anyway this weekend doing something. Why don't I throw a proverbial dart and pick up some shares of various companies or whatnot? See where I'm going with this, right? So I look at whether a person has 1 share, 10 shares, 100 shares, 100,000 shares, 1,000,000 shares or more. Collectively, we're all in this to win it, right? And I really can't emphasize enough how much it means to me, really, that there have been a handful of people, and you know who you are, who have really been willing to participate in having constructive dialogue about Stronghold Digital Mining, and to really look at this from a very different kind of perspective, right? To look at this as owners of the business, to look at this as people who are really just, yes, we want the stock to go up, but we're also kind of interested in what's going on in the business itself. Yes, the stock price is critically important. Anybody who tells you otherwise, and I'm not sure what they're thinking, because yeah, like the stock price really matters a lot. That being said, there's a real business behind the stock price. There are real people who are working every single day to help make this company a success. And I've thanked everybody who is in a position either of leadership at Stronghold Digital Mining. Thank you. Those of you who are working, at the data centers, thank you so very much for everything you're doing. I really mean that. Thank you so much, really, to the people who are helping to bring this waste coal to the power plants so that we can actually, turn this into energy, create some fly ash, right? And do so in a way that's controlled and environmentally beneficial. Thank you so very much. I'm going to be so incredibly happy. I am already happy, but I'll be even more incredibly happy when we as a company live into our full potential, because we have only scratched the surface of what we're capable of. And I'm in this to make a profit like everybody else, but at a deeper level, I'm in this because I really do believe that this company's potential is tremendous. And the journey from where we are now to where our full potential is, that journey, right? That's really what I think of as success. And I'm really, really excited to be on this journey. And I'm really excited to see what each and every day is going to bring. Okay. I'll see about attempting to cajole this shareholder into having a conversation with me on camera. I think that would be awesome. If you happen to be a shareholder who's in the state of Pennsylvania or outside the state and might be interested in attempting to figure out how we can interact virtually, that would be awesome as well. We can figure it out. Leave a comment below and I'll reach out. Or you can find me on Twitter at Steven Ziner. And we can kind of go from there. Okay. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.